All right, you stylish motherfuckers, welcome to the deep dive. And today we're going deep into the world of Burberry.
Ooh, getting fancy.
And trust me, it's fucking wild.
Oh, I believe it.
This brand has seen some shit chavs, counterfeit mountains, even torching their own goddamn clothes.
Buckle up, Buttercup. It's going to be a bumpy ride through fashion history.
So we're talking about Burberry.
The one and only.
Everyone's seen that iconic check, but let's rewind to the beginning.
Back to the old days.
We're talking 1856. This 21-year-old draper's apprentice, Thomas Burberry, decides, fuck it, I'm opening my own shop.
Dude was ambitious as hell. Started with outdoor attire fitting for rainy-ass Britain, right? Then he invents this fabric gabardine.
Already
Yeah, tough as nails, weatherproof.
interesting.
It's what put Burberry on the map.
Hold up, he was 21.
21?
Fuck me.
I know, right?
This guy was outfitting expeditions to the South Pole, Mount Everest.
Talk about extreme fashion.
But let's cut the crap and get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
The trench coat. How did that iconic piece of clothing come about?
Born in the trenches of World War I, no joke. British officers needed something to keep them dry and warm amidst the hellscape gabardine was the answer.
So basically, this fashion staple was forged in war. That's pretty fucking metal.
You could say that after the war, it crossed over into civilian life, from battlefield chic to an everyday icon.
Okay, but let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say the check in the room. How the hell did Burberry go from luxury symbol to chav uniform in the 2000s?
It's a classic tale of brand dilution. My friend Burberry started pushing lower-priced items, making the brand more accessible,
Right.
but also less exclusive.
So they basically shot themselves in the foot trying to appeal to the masses.
Pretty much. And then you had the counterfeiters flooding the market with knockoff Burberry everything.
Oh, God, yeah.
You couldn't walk down the street without seeing that check plastered on every cheap-ass bag and scarf.
So Burberry's own decisions, plus a bunch of copycats running wild, led to this fashion faux pas.
And then some celebrities, particularly those associated with the whole chav subculture in the UK, started sporting the check.
I see where this is going.
It became a symbol of, well, something Burberry definitely didn't want to be associated with.
You mean they became the go-to brand for lads with bad haircuts and tracksuits?
Let's just say their target demographic went a bit sideways. Things got so bad that some places actually banned the Burberry check.
What?
Clubs,
That's
even
a-
schools.
Wait, they banned a goddamn pattern. What a bunch of asshats.
They associated it with football hooliganism troublemaking. It was a PR nightmare for Burberry. Their luxury image was taking a serious beating.
So how the fuck did they climb out of that fashion abyss? Did they hire some spin doctor to work their magic?
They took drastic measures. Former CEOs Rosemary Bravo and Angela Ahrens came in and basically detoxified the brand.
Okay, I'm listening.
One wild move, they started burning unsold merchandise.
Hold the fucking phone. They were literally setting fire to clothes.
Clothes, accessories, perfumes. If it didn't sell, it went up in smoke. They were determined to maintain exclusivity, prevent those discount racks and knockoffs.
That's some hardcore brand commitment, man.
Oh.
Talk about cutting your losses.
It's a controversial move, no doubt. They stopped doing it in 2018 because of the backlash.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Imagine the headlines. Luxury brand burns millions in unsold goods.
The irony of a luxury brand burning shit to stay classy is not lost on me.
Ah,
What else did they do to turn things around?
they got picky about where their products were sold. They shut down tons of stores focusing on high-end retailers that fit their luxury image.
So they went on a detox diet, both literally and figuratively.
Exactly. It was all about quality over quantity, regaining that aura of exclusivity.
Smart move. Now, what about the creative side of things? Did they stick with the same old shit, or did they shake things up?
Big-time shakeup. Christopher Bailey had been the creative director for years. When he left in 2018, they brought in Riccardo Tisci straight from Givenchy.
Givenchy. Now we're talking high fashion.
Tisci injected new energy into the brand new logo, new monogram, and a more streetwear-inspired aesthetic. He was aiming for a younger, fashion-forward crowd while still respecting Burberry's heritage.
So Burberry got a makeover, a bit of a facelift. But that's tough balancing heritage and staying trendy.
It's a tightrope walk for sure, but they seem to be doing all right. Then in 2022, they switched things up again, bringing in Daniel Lee, who had been killing it at Bottega Veneta.
Another fashion heavyweight.
Right, wait.
What's Lee's vibe?
Minimalist, modern designs. He brought back the equestrian knight logo, and his first collection was a hit. Early days, but it looks like he's going to shape the future of Burberry.
Damn, they've been through a lot. From fighting off chavs to burning clothes to embracing streetwear. Burberry's a roller coaster.
A testament to their resilience, wouldn't you say? They've adapted, survived, and thrived through all this shit.
Speaking of ups and downs, let's talk about the campaigns that defined Burberry's journey.
Let's do it. Where do you want to start?
This recent campaign with Kano caught my eye. You mentioned Daniel Lee bringing a modern take on British luxury, and Kano is the embodiment of that.
Definitely. The campaign launched in April 2023 with Kano rocking pieces from Lee's first collection. It's a celebration of British style and culture. Kano brings a real sense of authenticity and coolness to the brand.
It's a far cry from, well,
Let's just say it shows how far they've come. They're embracing a more diverse, inclusive vision of Britishness, which is refreshing.
yeah, it feels like they're owning their heritage in a way that's both modern and relevant.
I agree. It's a smart move and it's resonating with people.
I might need to grab myself a Burberry trench coat after this.
You can never go wrong with a classic. It's not just about the look, right? It's about the whole damn philosophy behind Burberry pushing boundaries, exploration, that whole British spirit of adventure.
Yeah, but exploration these days isn't just about trekking through the fucking Amazon. It's about creative risks, experimenting with new shit, and let's face it, making a shit ton of money.
True. And you can't ignore sustainability. It's a huge deal in fashion now, and Burberry's made some big-ass promises.
Oh yeah, the whole climate positive bullshit. It's funny, right? They were burning clothes a few years ago, now they're saving the planet.
Well, they've definitely shifted gears. In 2021, they pledged to be climate positive by 2040. Not just reducing their impact, but actually having a positive effect on the environment.
Sounds like PR spin to me. But hey, if it makes them feel better about raking in billions, who am I to judge?
Cynical, but I get it. But they're taking some real steps. Reducing supply chain emissions, investing in renewable energy.
Okay, so maybe they're not all talk-bocked. But let's be real, the fashion industry is a polluting motherfucker, and Burberry's part of that problem, windmills or not.
No argument there. It's a complex issue, no easy answers. But brands like Burberry need to lead the way, set an example for the rest of those fashion fuckers.
All right, fine, I'll give them some credit. But let's move on to something less preachy. How's Burberry doing business-wise? They're a public company, so it's all about the bottom line, right?
They've had their ups and downs like any business. The pandemic hit them hard, but they're bouncing back strong. Sales are up, profits are climbing, and their stock's looking healthy.
So they're swimming in cash.
Doing pretty damn well.
Yeah.
But the luxury market is a fickle bitch. They can't rest on their laurels if they want to stay on top.
No pressure, right? But let's not forget about Burberry's cultural impact.
Yeah.
They're in movies, TV shows, music videos. Hell, even rappers name drop them.
Burberry's been ingrained in pop culture for decades. Instant recognition, a brand with weight both good and bad.
Speaking of bad, remember the whole chav thing? It's crazy how a brand can go from high society to the uniform of, well, let's just say not the most sophisticated crowd.
It's a lesson in brand image management. You got to be careful who you align yourself with. One misstep, and you're dressing the wrong kind of people.
One wrong move, and you're the official sponsor of football hooligans.
Not exactly the image a luxury brand wants to project.
But on the flip side, that kind of notoriety can give you street cred, make you seem edgy, rebellious.
It's a tightrope walk between cool and trashy. And Burberry's been teetering on that line for years.
They seem to have found their footing again, though. Back to being associated with luxury style, that British is factor.
Their collaborations with artists and musicians have helped. Working with people like Stormzy and Shy Girl broadens their appeal, brings in a younger, more diverse audience.
They're not just for the old money crowd anymore. They're trying to be inclusive, which is kind of ironic considering their history of burning clothes to stay exclusive.
Fashion's full of contradictions, isn't it?
It sure as hell is. But that's what makes it so damn entertaining.
Exactly. And that brings us to another interesting point. Burberry's ability to adapt to trends and cultural shifts. They've gone from outfitting explorers to dressing rappers, staying relevant through it all.
They're like fashion chameleons blending in with whatever the hell's going on.
Exactly. That adaptability is key to their success. They're not afraid to experiment, take risks, push those boundaries.
Got to stay ahead of the game, right? Can't just rely on past glories.
Right. That's a lesson any brand can learn from Burberry. Evolve, innovate, stay true to your core while embracing the future.
Deep, man.
Deep.
Just stating the obvious. All right, let's wrap this part up. We've gone from gabardine to chavs to Burberry's comeback. It's been a wild ride, and I'm sure we've all learned something today.
I hope so.
But one thing's been bugging me. We've talked about their past, present, future. But what about their impact on the world? They're a global force, a huge brand. What kind of legacy are they leaving?
That's the big question, isn't it? And I think the answer's still being written. Burberry's had a major impact on fashion culture society. They've been praised and criticized, shaping the world we live in.
So it's a mixed bag,
Definitely. Ultimately, I think their legacy will be about using their platform for good.
like saving the planet one wind turbine at a time.
Maybe, but also promoting diversity and inclusion, supporting ethical manufacturing, using their voice against injustice.
That's a lot of responsibility for a fashion brand.
It is, but
Yeah.
I think they're starting to take it seriously.
Well, that's good to hear. The world needs all the help it can get these days.
Couldn't agree more.
All right, before we get too deep into existential shit, let's move on to the final part of our Burberry deep dive. Stick around, you stylish motherfuckers. We've got more to uncover. We're back for the final round of this Burberry beatdown. My brain's buzzing with fashion facts, but I'm also craving a stiff drink after all this talk about burning clothes and chauve couture.
It's a lot to take in, that's for sure. Burberry's a goddamn saga.
Speaking of sagas, you remember that ridiculously huge Burberry tote bag Kendall Roy was rocking on Succession? That thing was like a suitcase on steroids.
Oh, yeah. That was a big moment for Burberry. The internet went nuts. Memes. Google searches the whole 9 yards.
People were obsessed with that goddamn bag. It practically became a character on the show.
It definitely had a presence. And it shows you the power of pop culture. One appearance on a hit show, and suddenly everyone wants a piece of the action.
Well, Burberry owes Kendall Roy a thank you note for that free advertising.
I'm sure they've already sent him a truckload of tote bags.
But let's step back for a minute. We've dug into Burberry's past, their present, their cultural footprint. But what about the future? What's your prediction?
Fashion's a fickle bitch, always changing. It's impossible to say for sure what the future holds, but I think Burberry's in a good position. Strong brand identity, a talented creative director, and a loyal customer base.
So you're saying they're not going the way of the dinosaurs anytime soon?
Not if they keep playing their cards, right? They need to stay true to their roots while embracing new ideas and trends.
It's a delicate dance, man.
It is, but I think they're up to the challenge.
Well, I'm rooting for them. After all, everyone loves a good comeback story, and Burberry's is one for the books.
Absolutely. And I think it's going to be fascinating to see where they go from here.
All right, my fellow fashion fiends, it's time to wrap up this Burberry deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground, from their humble beginnings to their global domination. We've talked about Chaz, burning clothes, and even that ridiculously huge tote bag. It's been a wild ride.
It's been a pleasure dissecting the history of this iconic brand with you.
The pleasure was all mine. And to all you listeners out there, if you're feeling inspired to rock some Burberry after this, go for it. Just try not to get kicked out of any pubs for wearing too much of that check.
Words to live by.
Until next time, stay stylish and don't be a dick.